What's up, everyone? It's the greatest villain expert, and he's back in action. That's me, yeah. Now, villain number 15. He is stubborn and obstinate, and he will never let your people go. Moses' brother, Rameses. Right. Yeah, he is Moses' brother. So, anyway, here we go. Rameses is the main antagonist of DreamWorks' second full-length animated feature film, The Prince of Egypt. He is based on the pharaoh from the biblical series of Moses. Indeed, the movie, for the most part, follows the story faithfully. However, in The Prince of Egypt, he and Moses were raised as brothers, and the conflict between them is seen as a deeply personal one on both sides. While it would be an exaggeration to call him a villain, Rameses was not truly evil, just stubborn and obstinate. His cruelty and stubbornness apparently stems from his past, where his father taught him to hold fast to a strong will and an unwavering mindset. It is worth noting that Ramesses' principal objective was getting his father's acceptance. Rameses did generally and deeply care about his son, and was utterly broken by his son's death. At the start of the movie, Rameses did have a truly brotherly bond with Moses, and they considered each other quite close. Before the final plague, Rameses tells Moses that he wishes they could just be a family again. Anyone could also consider him to be a control freak, forcing high standards on one of his guards and bringing a guard who is ill up onto his feet and giving him his stick even though he is too ill to guard his king. Right, okay. When we next meet them, Rameses and Moses are in their teens and prone to mischief, engaging in wild chariot races. Both brothers were competitive but fairly good-natured towards one another. However, their chariot race caused great damage to their surroundings, infuriating Rameses' father, who was harsh with his eldest son, calling him a weak link. An insult that deeply wounded Rameses and would continue to affect him later in life. Well, a weak link. Well, There was a show called The Weakest Link. Well, it's gone now. No one watches it. Anyway, if you don't know what weak link, you don't know what a weak link is, Google it. Okay. During Moses' time in the desert. No. Okay. Sorry, I skipped a bit. Okay. However, a short time later, Rameses was appointed Prince Regent by his father, who was moved to an appeal by Moses on his brother's behalf, and he promptly appointed Moses as royal chief architect. During the celebrations, Hotep and Hoi were ordered to give Rameses a gift as a sign of respect. Okay. Moses ran away. Let's get to that point. Let's see. At a later point, Rameses was overseeing the building of a great temple when Moses, who had recently learned of his true Hebrew heritage, found against a god abusing an old slave and accidentally killed him in the process. Rameses was shocked and confused and ran after his brother as he fled. He showed a little concern over the death of the god and even told Moses that as royalty he could see to it that the crime would never be heard of again. However, Moses was too full of regret and confusion and fled into the desert, leaving Rameses alone in Egypt. Rameses tried to be supportive to Moses because Moses was too full of regret after he killed the god who was abusing an old slave by whipping him, telling him to move it and move some bricks for the temple. I mean, this was a sad goodbye to Rameses when Moses ran away from Egypt, leaving his brother behind. And Moses said one last thing to him. Goodbye, brother. Right. Let's see. Okay, just hang on a sec, alright? Okay. When Moses returned to Egypt to confront Rameses, he told him that about the slavery, and he said their father was a great leader. But Moses tried to tell Rameses for not to see what his father was. I mean, he poured their heart out of those children. But Moses' people, and he can no longer hide in the desert while they are in Rameses' hands. So Moses has returned only to free them. So Rameses knows the truth. He knows that Moses was a Hebrew all this time. And well, that's it, folks. And this is Rameses' catchphrase. I will not be the weak link.